that never gets old. It never gets old. So, Audio Technica AD-500x, the ATH AD-500x, the Air series. We talked about this headphone before, but we have to talk a little bit more about it, huh? Because I'm saying goodbye to it. So after some time of not using it, I did give it a listen again and have my thoughts about this changed. Yes, actually, yes. So after listening to T20RP, magnetic planars are supposed to be kind of fast, right? They're supposed to be fast. Now, these are quick. Now, the thing is, these are dynamic drivers. These are open back headphones. These are the cheapest in the lineup. So if you want to buy the 500X, these are considerably cheaper than 1000, then 2000, then 5000X, okay? Especially 5000X. Oops. But what is it that the lineup has always had going for it, especially after I've bought 900s? 500X has always had such amazing imaging, actual sub-bass capabilities, we'll talk about that, and soundstage that's it's decent. It's not wide, but it's good. And also mid-range that is clean. So these are not these have pretty awesome low end. Now, the sub bass on most headphones is sometimes non-existent, and for some headphones, the driver just isn't capable of doing it. So it wasn't because of the acoustic design of the cup shape or anything, or that, you know, they're using like a velour pad. It's actually just because the driver was never able to make sub bass. Now, let me just whip out a headphone that can make sub bass from the 70s, okay? And believe it or not, the pads did help, like, capture it. But even K60, all right, and K160 from 77, 79, whatever. From the 70s, these things were able to make sub bass, and that's kind of unheard of for me, because it's just like, bro, that like most of the headphones from this era, especially from someone like AKG, they would have been more mid-range focused. And definitely that does kind of entail that they're going to be brighter headphones, and because, you know, those two frequency bands are what's going to be more focused on, you might, because of engineering and materials, I would say that the low end's going to suffer. And that typically happened with most K240s. There was a lack of bass. There's bass impact, but there wasn't a lot of the bass that you can feel. There wasn't a lot of sub bass. But damn, even a headphone from that time period can make sub bass. Like, wow. Let's put that away. This is no different. This is a headphone that was able to make sub bass, and I think that's something that was weird to feel. And does occur at like a certain volume, you know what I mean? Like, it has to be loud enough, not too loud, loud enough, and then you'll be able to be like, oh, there's a thing going on, like right there, right underneath my ear. What is that? Yeah, sub bass. So sub bass is there, bass is there, but because this is a 500 materials. I think the driver should be the same, or is the driver different, like per model? But like whatever it is, these are not as quick as 900. Okay, these also, I would assume, are not as quick as 700, and these won't be as quick as 1000, 2000, and 5000X. Okay, so as you upscale in the lineup, it should get better. It does, and I think that the materials and also the cup and everything is going to be showing for that. And the high end is not really the high range frequencies on these. It is Like, it's so weird to say that it's controlled. Like, the high frequencies on this is controlled. The low end's kind of loose, and it bleeds into the beautiful mids that these are capable of making. And what sucks is that when we would try to put distance on this, so when we try to put alpha dog pads on a 500, you do get to encapsulate the bass more. You do widen it out a little bit, like in terms of soundstage, but it definitely does kind of lack a little bit in the mid-range clarity because the driver just isn't able to really do that. Specifically this kind of driver. The pads are pretty standard. It isn't something too crazy to write home about, and they're not angled. Okay, that's something that people probably will get wrong off the bat, is that they'll think the Air series are angled, but they're not. So as you can see here, it is even throughout the circumference of the pad, but there's just extra material here because the actual frame is angled. So that's actually the reason why it's angled. But the driver's angled. All right, you can kind of see that. The driver itself is actually angled in there. So that's kind of cool. Angled driver, angled pads, and then this design that is, it's kind of similar, huh? It's kind of similar to something. I swear I've seen it before. Yeah, you've seen it before. It's an AKG kind of design. We do have the, this like soft material that's a lot more flexible than the AKGs. It's a lot more thicker as well. The cable runs through this from one cup to the other, and then it has one exit here, or one cable entry, and it terminates to a 1/4 inch with a that can be removed. It's not screw on. Okay, keep that in mind. And we got 3.5 here, gold plated. Cool, nice. It is a kind of proprietary connector, so let me just make this clear. This is what I'm talking about. Okay. This is like the weird thing about this model, and I think once we go like a little better in the models, like at 5000X or 2000X, I think the 1/4 inch adapter changes completely. So keep that in mind. But if we do take a look at this, there's like, this is the one that comes with the Audio Technica, and it's got like a little bit of a lip in there. Okay, this one is just a generic 1/4 inch from Ugreen, and if you look, there's that little lip right there, and that's the reason why it's designed that way. All right, and if I take it off, there it is. So if you use a generic one, you're fine. Okay, just know that if you lose yours. So it's just kind of weird. So that's the 1/4 inch scenario thing. You can't take off the cable, okay, which sucks. You can't. This cable is the worst cable in the world. I've tried to put this under a hair dryer. It didn't work. You're going to be forced to tie this. It's a studio cable, like in terms of like the length. So you got a lot of distance. You can wrap this around your desk like once and then still have enough to plug into your computer in the back on the floor and still have this, like, you know, with enough freaking give. That's like how long the cable is. Maybe I'm over exaggerating, but yeah, we do have these two comfort thingies. Okay, that's kind of like, I say X-wing design, but it's not an X-wing. It's just these two things here that are suspended with springs, and it makes it feel very light on your head. And damn, is it light. It's a light headphone. The cable's the only thing that makes it feel like it's heavy or there's something pulling you, but damn, cut the cable off, make it detachable, and you'll feel that this headphone is light. And the clamping pressure on this is actually not that bad. It's reliant on both clamp and reliant on how strong these springs are. So just keep that in mind. Now, with that all being said, the sound in imaging, the sound stage and imaging, the sound stage is pretty wide. It's wider than 600X, and it's definitely not as pinpoint accurate, okay, as 600, like HD 600, sorry. 600X, I think I said the wrong model, right? HD 600 is a lot more accurate, and it's also a lot more, it's a lot more intimate. But this is a little bit wider, and it does trade off a little bit of that pinpoint accuracy. But I swear, if you do go up in the model later on and try to upgrade this, or upgrade from this, you will get, you will get just better everything. Everything starts to pump up. I think the difference between the 1000 and 2000 isn't that big, but the difference between this and the 2000 is huge. So that's that. Let's plug these in. So you know how it is nowadays with the new format. I plug these into the Modi 3 Magni 3. I disclose that this is on low gain or something. 100 hertz test tone. Just know that the seal won't be the best, so it kind of sucks. Let's just switch the scene so you guys can see what I'm talking about. F3. You'll see that when I put these on, it's some of the ear shows. See that? Some of the ear shows. So I'm very sorry we can't get a good seal on this, but I'm just gonna, again, like I normally do, I position it a little like forward on the rig, and then 100 hertz test tone until I get a reading of like -10 on, what's it called, -10 on the voice meter. So let's take a listen to the reference first. Again, it has not changed. Okay, we're using Track Tribe. Their Night Alone, which is off of the YouTube archive for music and stuff, so I don't get DMCA'd. But we're going to be playing the recording of the HD-600 first. So take a listen to the HD-600. Amazing. Wow. Now, HD-600, let's listen to AD-500x. So I'm just going to mute the music track. I'm going to unmute the ears. You'll hear me. All right, here it is. There was a sigh of relief there. These make me smile. Now, the thing is, these have been glorified. The lineup has been glorified as audiophile grade, like, okay? I think it's the, like, RX70, or it's the R70X, whatever they use. The R70X, I think, is actually the one. Whatever. There's like a reference class of this, and it's an open back, and it's a different head strap design, whatever. And like that's like what you use as like your reference. Don't use this for mixing. It's not a mixing headphone. It's not for mastering. It's not for whatever. This is for enjoyment. So the 500 AD-500x is an enjoying headphone. Enjoying headphone? Wait, whoa. I enjoy this headphone, okay? It's a great headphone. Open back. And the driver's huge. And I don't know what it is, but it's just this headphone has been capable of making music fun for me ever since I got it. And I know that it's been in the box over there. And I haven't used it. And it's because I've been using 900. And ever since I got 900, which is 2 steps above this, I have been pushed to want to buy 2000s. I want to get 2000X. Because you get the metal strap and nothing else. It's still an attached cable and all that kind of stuff. But it's made in Japan. You know how it is. When it's made in Japan, it's made in Japan. So, 500s. They're made in China. They're light as hell. They're honestly not the fastest thing out there. Of course, that's how it is, right? They're not the fastest headphone. But I mean, if you want an entry level to open backs, there's better options. There is. But for me, it was this. And I have to say that I was happy when I got these. And these were awesome for gaming. They do bleed a lot, so just keep that in mind. But they were awesome for gaming, and they were very, very great for music listening. Nothing too crazy though. Again, I wouldn't mix and master with these, but I did enjoy music listening through these Audio Technicas. So the Air series is worth taking a look at, and especially after the 500s, I definitely want to know a lot more. So thanks for watching. You know how it is. I'm going to end the video abruptly because that's how it is. Yeah, bye-bye.